500 videos later, and what do you got for me, Frit? Nothing new. I'm going to be covering the same PlayStation salt that you guys never seem to let go of. Well, I mean, if I talk about DEI and woke gaming, I'll just continue to hemorrhage subs, so it's not a conversation for the weak-minded. But luckily for you, since you're an addict, you already know what you want. Hell, I know what you want, and I've been doing a poor job of providing it. PlayStation Fanboy Salt. See, this is why I tell you youngsters that you should stay in school. Once you start trapping pony salt, you're in the game forever. Subscribers will only stay for the salt. So let's not waste any time. I see you fiending like crazy. So the good news is the salt I'm providing you is Jaydub salt. The notorious PlayStation fanboy Jaydub. You know, the guy who thought Starfield was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. And the guy who blocked me when he quickly realized he wasn't funny enough to go toe-to-toe with me. The guy who looks like an inflatable Steve Urkel. So it turns out he's a frequent guest on a podcast called Fire X, where they discuss console war, fanboy stuff, you know, defend PlayStation, hate Xbox, that kind of thing. And basically, all of these ponies are on board for believing that Concord is actually a great game, and that's not woke, and that PlayStation will succeed with it, and they made the right decision. You know, these are PlayStation fanboys. Had Microsoft released Concord, they wouldn't shut the f up about it for another 5 years. But because it's a PlayStation title, they believe they have to actually support it and pretend to like it. How sad is that? How sad is the life of a console fanboy, having to pretend to like games? I could not imagine living in that type of world. But it's what you gotta do to keep up appearances. It's what you gotta do to be accepted by your colleagues in the PlayStation fandom. So things got a little spicy when somebody in the chat wasn't fully on board with this delusional idea that Concord is excellent.
Right, so to 2 points that the characters in Overwatch, bear in mind, they knew what they were doing. The characters are appealing. Like, have you seen Mercy? Have you seen Widowmaker? Tracer had the thing going on. Like, you will notice there is a distinct... These characters... You think of Valorant, you think of League of Legends, you think of what else the skins, what gets you into the character. Half the time it's the looks. Let's keep it 100. That is what it is. And none of these characters in Concord have that. They don't have that factor to them. But then also
I'll push back on that. The characters, to me, look really, really, really good. The graphics in that game is 1,000 times better than 99% shooters out there.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It has a Sony
I think the characters look good.
Graphical, demanding, the shadows, the lighting. It's Unreal Engine 5. It has all. Even Digital Foundry said it's a looker. So to say that it don't really, I'll just push back on that a little. And then maybe it's an acquired taste. Maybe it's acquired taste.
You're right. Okay, sure, Jaydub. Whatever you say. Indeed, it's all an acquired taste. I mean, I don't know how you would acquire this taste unless your IQ dropped below Cardi B's. Now, I can't verify whether Digital Foundry said that or not, but if they did, now would be the time to unsubscribe. I couldn't even tell this game was using UE5. I seriously thought it was, I don't know, what, Unity Engine or something? Never in a million years did I think this was Unreal Engine 5. You can't tell, and that's not a good thing. But that's what I expect from PlayStation fanboys per usual. Graphics are their #1 defense, and it doesn't apply here. I'm sorry. This game is not groundbreaking. It's not doing anything we've never seen visually before. As a matter of fact, I would say it's the most outdated looking UE5 game currently. And I don't care if Digital Foundry thinks it's impressive. Digital Foundry likes motion blur. Their opinions can be disregarded easily. But I do love how they all chime in right about at the same time he decides to be critical of the game. Like, oh, hold on, we're gonna have to stop you there. The Concord I know is excellent. It's a masterpiece. It's a technical marvel of its time. Meanwhile, every single character in this game looks like an Overwatch reject. But fine, well, never mind design. That's his opinion. If he thinks that these designs are phenomenal, he's entitled to his opinion, but to say it's better than 99% of shooters, Jaydub, for the love of God, do yourself a favor, play something other than PlayStation. I know the lack of shooters there has clouded your judgment. You have absolutely no idea what the hell you're talking about. That's what happens when you play on PlayStation and you have no shooters. These guys think Concord can hold up its own against proper shooters. I wouldn't even really classify this game as a proper shooter. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing about Concord. Aim is not a requirement for this piece of shit. A real shooter requires skill, precision, timing, and map awareness. This game does not require you to be good at shooters. This game just requires you to be able to withstand so much torture.
Maybe it's an acquired taste. Maybe it's acquired taste.
The thing is, if I put the girl with the rocket launcher right next to Widowmaker, right, and then put a poll up, which one do you prefer?
Oh, well, yeah, but it just comes down to looks of characters, and I think that's just a bit like.
But that's what sells. See, the thing is,
yeah,
you want to sell skins, and then for them, you want to sell that's what makes the money. So you need to make them as attractive as possible. And then on the point of the cinematics, it's nice having cinematics, but most people are just going to click X to skip and go straight into the game. They just want to play.
I remember my point now. I was going to say
they're not here for these beautiful cinematics. Like the Overwatch cinematics, they did them, but they were on YouTube and they were like 2 minutes long, and they told a quick little story.
And that's the difference. And that's the difference between a free-to-play and a full-fledged type game. It's because those free-to-play games, they don't care about any of that stuff. They just want to get in there and get your money and get out. They
were cool cinematics, though, Jay.
This is what, Jaydub? It's what? It's an exception. It's different. It's better than its counterparts. Shut the fuck up. I have never seen a PlayStation fanboy in such denial, on the verge of tears, over such a simple disagreement. I wouldn't even say a disagreement. I would just say a basic fact. This game looks like trash, plays like trash, and is trash. You have to completely discard your integrity in order to try and argue that it's special and above the rest. No, it's not. Halo Infinite is free to play, and it's 1,000,000 times better than this crap. I know that's not a popular opinion to have, but it's true. I would rather play Call of Duty. I'd rather play CSGO. I'd rather play Escape from Tarkov. I'd rather play BattleBit. I would rather play anything. But that Singer guy is right. It does matter if these characters are appealing to gamers. If gamers are going to be stuck playing this for 10 hours a day, they're not going to want to look at some fugly characters that look like they were made on the woke page of DeviantArt. Then Jaydub wants to go on to say, oh, that's the difference between free to play and a full-fledged title that you gotta pay for. You're right, there is a difference here. The fact that people have to pay for Concord is what makes it a problem. It has all the makings of a free-to-play title, with none of the charm or originality. It is quite literally the definition of mid. Now, I don't know if PlayStation fanboy standards have dropped, or their IQ, or both, or worse, but the fact that ponies have gone on from getting masterpieces like Bloodborne, or Metal Gear Solid 4, or God of War 3, to now getting games like Forspoken and Concord and Foam Stars. What happened? When did ponies lower their standards so much? At one point, they had all the bragging rights. Now all they have is denial. It truly amazes me how they still do not comprehend what this man is saying. To them, in their eyes, the characters look great. But all this game had to do was slap an Xbox logo on it, and all of their opinions would actually be legit. They still don't get that this Death Singer guy is basically telling them the characters are so bland and so ugly and unappealing, they're not going to be able to monetize this. And he is correct. Who in the hell is going to be encouraged to unlock all the skins for these characters if they don't even like them in the first place? And miss me with that, oh, well, you only played the beta. The player count of the beta alone should tell you everything. Nobody has interest in this. The backstory of these characters is already lost on people, and they do not care or give two shits to catch up on all the content to know them. They just want a solid game, and honestly, this is just mid at its very best. That's how the PlayStation fanboys get. They get in complete denial. And when they're all in a group together, it quickly becomes a therapy session. PlayStation messed up big time, all right? I mean, like, the multiplayer scene for them started and ended with Helldivers 2. Everything else is utter crap. And not even Helldivers 2 is at its peak anymore. I don't know what Sony is gonna give these ponies, but it better be good because the year's over in 5 more months. And PlayStation has not dropped anything worth anyone's paycheck. Yet these guys are defending Concord as if it's worth $100. It's so entertaining to see how the mind of a pony works in groupthink. Now they're the ones stuck with some of the worst live service slop on the planet. After talking so much shit about how Xbox users would be stuck with nothing but live service slop. Beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, Jaydub, enjoy your slop. I really hope that Concord will get you through the rest of these painful 5 long months of nothing. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. Help me get to 73,000 subs. And I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.